Hello, welcome to my kitchen. I know a lot of you really like seeing food content, so you'll probably be happy to see this video. Long story short, I've been trying to make small changes that are long-term and sustainable, trying to make better choices, eating less sugar, more protein, trying to understand portions and all of that. And I've been implementing those little things since April, and I've been very happy with, how I feel physically, seeing a little bit of movement on the scale, and I've just really been trying to figure a lot of things out. And last week I prepped some chicken. I had some chicken breasts that were just cut up. I cut them up, I put them into a Ziploc, and I throw them into the fridge. And I pulled them out and I just prepped them. A little bit of olive oil, some salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, and then I just finished them off with a little bit of barbecue sauce. I just do it in a skillet on the stovetop, throw them in a container, and then I put them into the fridge. There's so many different things that you can do with them, but on this particular day, I needed lunch. I didn't have anything prepped for hubby to take for lunch, and I had a busy day that day, and I said, "Can you come home for lunch?" And he goes, "Yeah, I can today." And I said, "Okay, come home for lunch and I'll have something ready for you." So here is what I made for a quick and easy, delicious lunch for my husband and I. Just a quick, easy salad using what I have. I have a romaine heart, half of an English cucumber, pecans. I measured out like the serving size, and then some chicken, just some skinless, boneless chicken breast that I prepped earlier in the week, some feta cheese, and then the G. Hughes honey Dijon dressing. I haven't tried it before and I'm very excited about it, and we are just going to keep this simple. I have the 2 bowls ready to go. Just took the romaine, washed it, and I'm just roughly chopping it up. And salads, I don't necessarily want a lot of lettuce. I want a little bit of lettuce, and I really want to focus on the protein because that's going to keep me full and satisfied. And then the nuts and the cheese, that's going to be a little bit of fat that's going to help keep us full as the afternoon goes on. So I didn't use the full romaine heart. I could have used the whole thing. I think it would have worked, but honestly, I think the salad is one of the best that I have ever made, and it was just so quick and easy. So I'm just putting this into a container to use later. So I'm just going to take the English cucumber, just slice it up a little bit and put it in here. I was thinking about prepping these salads earlier in the week, but I honestly just didn't really know what day today was going to be. And sometimes, I'll prep salads on a Sunday, and then by the time Monday rolls along, I'm like, I wasn't really feeling it. So I just thought this was the easiest way to do it. And then I just kind of put everything layered in the bowl. So I'm going to go ahead and put the dressing on the greens because that's where I want the flavor to be. Now, the serving size said 2 tablespoons. I definitely probably could have used 1 tablespoon, but I haven't tried it before and I definitely wanted it to be flavorful. So I went ahead and put it on the lettuce and then the cucumbers. And then on the bag for the pecans, it said for a 1/4 cup, it said 200 calories. I felt that was a little bit too much for just a single serving because we were having chicken and the cheese. So I just measured out a 1/4 cup, chopped it up, and then just put it on the salad. And then the feta cheese, I just put a 1/4 cup on each bowl here. And then the chicken, I just threw it in the air fryer to heat it up. I had some cut up chicken breasts in the freezer. I prepped them a while ago, took them out one night, put a little bit of salt, pepper, onion, garlic powder, a little bit of barbecue sauce, just sauteed them up, put them in the fridge, and then I'm using some of them for the salad. So quick and easy. It doesn't have to be fancy. I didn't have a lot of vegetables to work with. Went with what I had. There it is. And it looks really good. I'm trying to focus on the protein to help keep me full and satisfied, and then also the greens with the fiber. So I'm just going to mix it up, and honestly, this was one of the best salads that I had ever eaten. It is the weekend, and it is blueberry season. I did a Google search for small batch blueberry buttermilk pancakes, found an amazing recipe. It will be linked down below, and I can't wait to share it with you. 1 cup of flour, 2 tablespoons of sugar, a teaspoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of baking soda, called for a pinch of salt. I omitted that because I always use salted butter. And I have a really great buttermilk recipe for pancakes, and I make it all the time. I make it for holidays. I make it whenever I do pancakes, and then it makes a really big batch. The only problem is I'm in the kitchen for anywhere from half an hour to 45 minutes making the pancakes over and over again. And I just wanted a small batch for the 3 of us so we can enjoy them all together. And I am so happy with this recipe. So I mixed up the dry ingredients. Now I'm doing the wet ingredients. And It's 3/4 of a cup of buttermilk, but the recipe will tell you how to make buttermilk if you don't have it. So 3/4 of a cup of milk, and then you add in the vinegar. I buy buttermilk usually once a month, so I just went ahead and used it. 1 egg, and then 2 tablespoons of melted butter. I'm just going to go ahead and mix this together and then add it to my dry ingredients and just mix it up until it is combined. This is the second time I've made these pancakes, and they are so good. The first time it said to add the pancakes, but I decided to add it into the batter, and I preferred it this way. So we're going over to the oven. I have my 2 enamel covered cast iron skillets that I got at Costco. Once I figured out how to regulate the heat in these, I absolutely love them. And since it's just the 3 of us, it said, it serves 4 to 6 pancakes. I had a good idea from the first time I made it, and I really did feel that I'm using a 1/4 measuring cup to measure out the batter evenly. It will be perfect for us. So 4 in the big pan, 2 in the small pan, and I'll be able to cook them all together, so we will be able to enjoy this beautiful blueberry pancake breakfast. And I am so happy with this recipe. I am going to use this for whenever I just want a small batch of pancakes. I love buttermilk pancakes. These are nice and thick and fluffy. They were very easy to handle, and you can see I'm flipping them over. There's the nice juicy blueberries. So good. You could even put a little bit of squirt of lemon in if you wanted. So there they are. I am so happy. I had kind of 2 bigger ones and then 4 smaller ones, and I'm going to give my husband and my son one of the bigger ones and then one of the smaller ones, and then I'm just going to go ahead and have 2 of the smaller ones. And then I had some chicken sausage, so we paired that with the pancakes, and then also just a lower sugar yogurt. Instead of eating like a great big plate of pancakes, I thought 2 pancakes in moderation, some nice chicken sausage, and some yogurt would be nice and filling for our busy day. I have some very juicy raspberries, and they were very soft, even just to pick them up and eat them. Like, they were just kind of hard to do that and very messy. I didn't want to waste them, so I did a Google search and found a recipe for raspberry sauce. I'll link it down below. 3 cups of raspberries, exactly what I had. 1 tablespoon of water, 2 teaspoons of cornstarch, 1/4 of a cup of sugar, and a teaspoon of freshly squeezed lemon juice. I'm using the stuff out of the bottle. So you take the water and cornstarch and you mix it up until it is dissolved. And a couple of weeks ago, I made a no-bake cheesecake, and I wanted a strawberry topping for it. So I got a really great recipe from Sally's Baking Addiction. I'll link that recipe video down below so you can see it. And I was very happy with it. So I went to her website and I did a search for raspberry sauce, and I'm very glad that I did. There were some tips in there, working with raspberries, and talked about the sugar and that. So you just put everything into one pot and then just mix it up. And then we're going to move over to the stovetop, and I have it on medium heat. So you bring that over, and then you're going to let it come to a boil, stirring occasionally. And then once it comes to a boil, you're going to let it boil for the full 3 minutes and then stirring occasionally, because you don't want it to stick to the bottom or burn. And then after the 3 minutes, you're just going to go ahead and remove it from the heat and let it sit until it is cool. I normally don't take the seeds out of anything with raspberries, but my husband prefers it without the seeds, and I thought it'd be nice to do that for him. And I also wanted to share it with you. I have this mesh colander. I just got it from the dollar store. I use it for sifting and doing so many things with it. It's a great little addition to my kitchen, and I'm just using a rubber spatula, and you definitely need the fine mesh because the seeds are so tiny. And then I'm just going to keep adding it in here, and then I have my Pyrex measuring cup. It fit in here perfect. It didn't make a great big mess, and I just kept working it, pushing the sauce down, and it got to the point where you just had to kind of keep stirring it and just doing it until you got all of the sauce out. It didn't take too long, and I'm actually really glad that I did it. It's just a really nice looking sauce. I think if you were doing like a no-bake cheesecake or you had a dessert, I just think it would be a really nice little touch to it, and it's homemade. Few ingredients. It takes a little bit of time, but definitely worth it. So once it is cool, I'm just going ahead and adding it. I had a 500 milliliter mason jar ready to go. I also had another little glass container ready to go, but it fit in here perfect. I'm very happy with the way that this turned out. It's nice and beautiful color. We're going to put it in the fridge until we are ready to use it, and today is the day. I have some no sugar added high protein yogurt. There's the beautiful raspberry sauce, and then I'm just using this grain-free granola I got from Costco. I've been very happy with it. So there is all of the nutritional facts. I'm trying to eat less sugar and higher protein, so I really thought this yogurt would work. And then same with the granola. I'm really happy with this. A couple of people had recommended it to me and I really do like it. 1/3 measuring cup. So I'm trying to like figure out measurements without always having to get like the measuring cup out. So I'm kind of eyeballing it and I have like the spoon. So it's a good 3 kind of larger spoonfuls. So I'm going to put that into the bowl. And then I wanted something with a little bit of sweetness because I'm really enjoying like having yogurt with a lot less sugar. I remember the first time I bought this yogurt, I did not like it. I found it very, very bitter. This sauce is not very sweet. I think if you wanted it sweeter, I would definitely add more sugar. I was kind of surprised. I thought this was going to be really tart, but it was just a good balance. But I've really been reducing my sugars and I thought this was a really great filling breakfast and just something different. The sauce would also be good on ice cream. This is a very quick lunch prep. I took these sausages out at dinner, so it was a couple of hours before. They're still partially frozen. I have some mini potatoes. I looked at the serving size on the bag. It said 4 to 5. So I decided to take out 20 because I'm looking for 4 lunches. A couple of peppers, some olive oil, and then this wild whiskey smoked barbecue seasoning from Costco. I use it all the time. I use it on meat. I use it on vegetables. So I'm preheating my oven to 425 degrees, and I want to do this quick. So I go ahead and wash the vegetables. I love these potatoes because you don't have to peel them. I'm just cutting them in half. The peppers, I'm just dicing them up. And if I would have had sweet potatoes, this would have been great. I thought about doing pasta and I'm like, no, I don't want to have to boil the pasta. I just want something quick and easy to make lunches for my husband and I for a couple of days. And I'm just going to go ahead and do a sheet pan dinner. Honestly, this didn't take me long. A little bit of olive oil, and then I'm going ahead and putting in the seasoning mix up here. And then I have my pan just with some parchment paper on it. And then I'm just going to go ahead and dump this out. And then I'm just going to go ahead and take the sausages and just dice them up and add it to the sheet pan. I was so happy with this. It's really hard to find like chicken sausages or turkey sausages without a lot of like, you know, different ingredients. These ones were nitrate free. They were nice and smoky and they were already cooked. So honestly, I had all of this ready to go and I was still waiting for my oven to get preheated to 425 degrees. So I'm just mixing this all in. The sausages are going to have enough flavor, so I didn't mix them with the olive oil and the seasoning. They're going into the oven. I set my timer for 30 minutes. Yeah, my stove needs to be cleaned. And then I took them out and then I just let them cool for about an hour. And this looked really good. My husband's like, what's this? I'm like, it's lunch for the next couple of days. I was really happy with the sausage and I'm definitely going to pick some more of it up next time I go to Costco. And then I just broke it down into 4 containers. And I just thought this was like the perfect size. It's a little bit of everything and I think it's going to be really filling, and the sausage was so good. And then the mixture of the vegetables and the potatoes, I was very happy with it. So now I'm home. I had a really, really busy morning and that's why I wanted to have lunch prep, so I had something. So my husband will throw this in the microwave at work. We don't have a microwave. I'm just heating it up in the skillet, and as it was heating up, I just went ahead and got some grapes in a little bowl. There's my plate with the little sheet pan concoction I made up. I filled up my bubba with water, and there is a quick and easy lunch. It was absolutely delicious. It was filling and satisfying, and a lot of protein, and then the water and grapes really helped keep me full too. Filmed the salad, and I ended up sharing with you 4 random eats. I just, filmed over a couple of days. I just shared with you, trying to get creative, come up with different ideas, and I'm very happy with everything that I shared with you. I didn't really have a high expectation for that salad. I didn't have a lot, but it really worked out great. The fiber from the greens, and then the dressing, the protein from the chicken, and then the fat and the flavor from the feta cheese and the nuts and then the dressing. It was really good. I was surprised with how good it was, and I know a lot of you have said that you really like the G Hughes products. A lot of you have asked for reviews and all of that. That was the first time I tried that honey mustard one, and it was really good, and I would definitely buy it again. I have tried making my own dressings, but I'm not a lover of the oil and the vinegar. I do like a little bit more of a creamy dressing, and that one was really good. And just measuring everything out just kind of helps keep things under control. Like seeing how much like calories are in pecans and all of that. And before I would just like put stuff out, chop it all up, and the next thing you know, you probably have like 1,000-calorie salad, and it kind of defeats the whole purpose of trying to, have something a little bit healthier. and I was craving blueberry pancakes. And I just did that search for the small batch pancakes, and it was so good because I have a really great recipe, but it makes so much, and I just wanted enough pancakes for us for breakfast. That was amazing. It tells you how to make the buttermilk, and it was just the perfect, everybody had 2 pancakes, some chicken sausage, and the yogurt, and it was a great lunch. It got us out the door. We were able to enjoy our day and kept us full and satisfied until our next meal. Raspberry sauce was really good too. I know I usually have a protein coffee for breakfast, but I do want to change things up. That was really good, and I remember the first time I bought like a really low sugar yogurt from that brand, I thought it was very bitter. I didn't like it, and I was kind of surprised. I almost thought about mixing a little bit of maple syrup in because I was scared it wasn't going to be too sweet. It was perfect, and that sauce really isn't overly sweet, but that probably depends on the raspberries too. But if you want something really sweet, I'd give it a little bit of taste, and you might want to add a little bit more sugar. But if you had like even like a plain baked cheesecake with a little bit of fresh raspberry, you know, sauce drizzled over it, it would be perfect. If you wanted to have a really nice dessert, or even a little bit on ice cream would be good too. And then we finished it off with a quick, easy sheet pan, you know, lunch prep. And I think that gives you a good idea of, I had those sausages, I saw them at Costco, I knew they'd be perfect, they'd be quick for whatever we wanted them for, pulled them out. I always try and have peppers and onions, but I really thought about adding some frozen broccoli to that sheet pan too. I think it would work. Sweet potatoes would have been really great. And those little potatoes, I love them because sometimes it's like 5 o'clock and I'm like, oh, I have to have dinner ready for 5:30. I get them out, just wash off the potatoes, cut them in half, season them, throw them in the air fryer. Quick and easy, and they don't take a lot of time or prep. And honestly, that was so delicious. I had a really busy morning. The old days, I would go through drive-thru, grab something that wasn't good for me, that was full of sodium and everything else, a lot of fat and a lot of calories, and I think that was a perfect balance with some grapes and some water. So I really hope that you enjoyed these 4 random eats. I really enjoyed just filming simple things. I know in the past I would do like more, you know, like a large food prep and a lot of cooking and all of that. I like things to be just quick and easy. I like to pull from my fridge, my freezer, a little bit from the pantry, and try and come up with, you know, quick and easy, but they're also very filling and flavorful. And I also want to try some more small batch recipes. So if you're just a small family like us, keep watching because I'm really excited about that. You know, making small batch. I was looking at potato salads, macaroni salads, and I was surprised because, you know, everything is like serves 12 or serves 20, and it's really nice like seeing servings for like 2 or 4, and I definitely want to make more of those recipes. So if you enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and I will try and just film as I'm doing things in my kitchen, because that's really what I want to do, is share with you the reality of trying to, you know, make foods that taste good but that aren't, you know, big servings and all of that. And I think it was a really good balance with everything. So thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you have a great day, and we will talk to you all soon.